engineering. Like from childhood onwards, I'm
तेज हो जाती है, हवा रुक के चलने लगती है, मौसम बदल जाता है और उसकी पायल तो ऐसे बसती है कि जैसे झम झम।
Good morning, everyone. Those who have presentations, please come to the
come this side
reception
and
and save those presentations in the laptop so that it gets displayed on. Whosoever is giving presentation. morning, everyone. It's my honor to introduce all of you to the today's event. I, Gayatri Nenawat, being an organizer of the session and also a mining engineering of third year, wanted to talk few minutes on contribution of women in mining engineering. I stand before you today to shed light on a transformative shift occurring in the mining industry. The remarkable contribution of women in breaking down age-old gender barriers. Women are not only entering but thriving in what has traditionally been a male-dominated sector. As we delve into the subject, envision with the dynamic changes taking place across within the very of heart of our mining communities. The infusion of diverse perspectives is fostering innovation and steering us toward a more inclusive and progressive future. Yet, let us not merely view this as a statistical change. The involvement of women in mining transcends numbers. It is about enhancing safety measures, promoting sustainability practices, and embracing a deeper sense of social responsibility. The women in mining are not just contributors, they are the catalyst for positive change. So, let us recognize the importance of supporting and encouraging the women who have stepped onto the transformative path. This isn't just about achieving gender equality, it's a strategic move towards a more resilient and inclusive mining sector. Embracing the contributions of women in mining is not just a choice, it's a commitment to a future where diversity is our strength and progress our constant companion. So I just want to introduce the chair, our alumni of IIT BHU 1981 batch. So he is the former CMD of and chairman of Central Mine Planning and Institute. He worked in Coal India almost 4 decades and retired as CMD of CMPDI, which is a subsidiary of Coal India Limited. And co-chair here is Sanjay Kumar Pillai sir, Assistant Professor, Department of Mining Engineering, IIT BHU.
Cuk 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 one. Cuk 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 one. Hey.
Hello. Welcome and good morning to you all. This is the session 2 of this conference, this seminar. And I have before me, there were total 7 papers are to be presented. And may I know I know, Doctor, first paper will be, first note address will be by the next paper is to be presented by Dr. Venkat S. Votupuri. I think they are not here. This paper will not be presented. The third one is by Mr. Mukesh Kumar Singh and T.N. Singh sir. Mukesh Kumar is here. Okay. Then we are having this Mukesh Kumar sir presentation. The next one is the effect of 1:3 ratios of coal, Mahua biomass, blend co-gasification and its application to IC engine for electrical power generation. An experimental approach by Rituraj, Priyaranjan Jaina, Jeevan Vachmatirki and Naveen Jala. They are here. I think Priyaranjan Jaina, you are here, na? Okay, then. What about this paper? This, okay, you will be having the next paper, the thermodynamic performance and emission analysis of dual fueled SI engine. Okay, so we are not having this one. And the next one is the framework of utilization of waste rock from coal mining overburden as construction, building and road materials by K. Pandian and S. Kundu. Is anybody here? I don't think. So we are not having this paper. And the last one is design of underground structures for mechanized depolluting in Tawa 1 mine, Professor Ashok Kumar ISM. Okay. So we are having 1, 2, 3, 4. Total 4 papers. And without losing any time, can I request Bhargava sir to kindly please come to the dais and have your keynote address, and if any volunteers, if they can assist him. As we all know, he is the BHU alumni of 1953 batch, a very senior, the senior most alumni of this institute. We can say he is the Bhishma Pitama of IIT BHU mining department, and he had retired as chief controller of mines in IBM, and he was there for 16 years. He had a deep impact in non-coal sector, in metal sector, whether it is mining, practical mining, or is functioning of IBM, or with the policy decisions in Ministry of Coal. That you may be aware that the period during which he has worked, it was 1950s, 60s and 70s. In 70s, a lot of all these period were where new regulations started coming in after independence, and he had contributed a lot in those periods. So I think we have heard him a lot about his experience yesterday, and today is, we are expecting that Bhargava sir will share some experience with us. Okay, thank you, sir. Please, sir.
For your introduction. Friends, I have written 2 papers for this seminar, but they are not going to bother you, bore you. It is only in 3 pages. So, first paper was, okay, I will read out. The first part of this paper was the status of mineral industry in India, dealing with metallic and non-metallic minerals only, to the exclusion of atomic minerals, solid and liquid fuels. The aspects covered are the following. Number 1, the status of the mineral wealth as known up to 1/4/2020. Information is provided for 45 metallic minerals. Number 2, non-metallic minerals. अच्छा, उसके line is. Anyway, I'll skip over. The status of mining leases of various minerals is known up to 31/3/2021. Covers the information regarding 23 minerals, mineral-rich states. The number of mining leases executed was 3,314, and the aggregate area of the lease is 3,06,399 hectares. The status of the number of reporting mines during the period from 2010-11 to 2021-22. It gives a comparison for 10 years. The next is the status of the value of minerals produced over a period of time. And last is the status of foreign trade in minerals and metals during the period 2007-8 to 2016-17. Here I could not get a statistics for the period. The second part of this paper is describe the promotional role of the Indian Bureau of Mines. Indeed, the roles were expanded and not diversified by me. Thus, the functions of the Mineral Economics Division and the Mineral Processing Division were expanded, while new divisions of technical consultancy, mining and research were created during this period of 1973 to 1989. When I held charge of IBM, a training center was also established. Firstly, we established it for in-house training. Then the government advised me that you please throw open the training center to the industry. So we ran training courses for the industry also. The paper is rather exhaustive. It runs into 16 pages. Therefore, I have chosen to present to you the summary. I understand that the full paper can be downloaded from the link provided by the organizers. The second paper is a thought-provoking paper. And I thought, instead of merely giving my ideas, I must provoke a brainstorming session among the participants. So here it is. I am, of course, not very much depressed by seeing the participants are few. I wish the college students, mining students and themselves would have filled our auditorium. Anyway, it doesn't discourage us. Let me now present the paper. Development of virgin metal deposits, some suggestions. You see, nowadays, the government thought that they are being very generous with the liberalization of ideas. And you see, mental exploration, this development will come up, but it is not coming up. I do not want to go into the reasons why it is not coming up. I am rather making an alternative suggestion as to what can be done to expedite the process. So I think that is a positive approach which we should adopt. So this is a paper which takes into account the current situation as regards exploration and mining operations in India. And the protector of environment, it carries some suggestions how the development of virgin metal deposits could be achieved in an environment of peace and harmony. Peace and harmony are also important. You see, because our Naxalite problem is a child of this lack of peace and harmony. And regulation of the mining activity could be done in an effective and efficient manner so as to simplify the regulating mechanism, yet maintaining the scope of regulation. I presume that you all know about the current situation. I don't want to go into the negative aspects. So this paper covers certain views and suggestions only. Number one, The mineral deposit is first identified in the course of geological mapping of a region by the Geological Survey of India. Just then, mutual consultation between the Ministry of Mines and the Ministry of Environment and Forests is necessary about the future clearance of such an area for the grant of mining leases, even before the detailed exploration is undertaken. This will ensure that the availability of the sites for detailed exploration and subsequent mining operations, subject to observation of certain conditions for the conservation of mineral resources or the protection of environment, it will do away with the need for further approvals by the Ministry of Environment or the Ministry of Mines, and save valuable time during the startup of the mining operations. As you know, these days things are getting stuck up, and even after the mining lease is granted, mining operations cannot be undertaken. So here is the solution. Number 2, the detailed exploration of the mineral deposit is being undertaken by a number of agencies. It includes the Geological Survey of India and the Directorates of Geology of different states. Certain agencies of the central government, such as the Mineral Exploration Corporation and Consultancy Limited. It used to be Mineral Exploration Corporation, and now it is known as Mineral Exploration Consultancy Limited. That means they will also go forth and do some project planning also. Let me share this with you, that I used to be director of this company, and sometime later idea was thrown up that Controller General should not be a director of companies. So I resigned from all companies. I was director in 3 places, 4 places. Then the government approached and they said, Mr. Bhagya, we don't accept your resignation from MECL. You please continue. So on the request of the government, I continued as a director. So that time I suggested to MEC that please don't stop only after exploration. After exploration, you make a project report on a mining project. Now I am very happy that they are undertaking the job and change the name of the company itself. MECL, Coal Mine Planning and Design Institute.
Yes, sir. Sir, can you, sir, please expedite your session because we already have.
Just one page.
Sir, please.
I am not
Sorry,
going to take time.
I'm sorry, sir.
One page or 2 pages? Some 6 minutes. Mining holders are required to pay a minimum exploration cess, which in a way makes up for the expenses made by the government for the agencies and exploration. Here, I would like to emphasize that the cost of exploration should be minimized. I had an opportunity after 10 years of retirement. One assistant government approached me, and then I had to, you see, I invited quotations from MECL, from CMPDI, and also private. And I found that the private people were much cheaper than the agencies, and although not willing, I had to do that. And that was for the state government of Rajasthan. the case of viable mineral deposits is identified for the grant of mining lease, the concerned government may rehabilitate the advance in advance the persons who are likely to be displaced or as a result of the grant of mining lease. At another suitable site, the government may recover the cost of such rehabilitation from the applicant who is subsequently granted the mining lease of that said area. The mining lease holder may gladly reimburse the cost of rehabilitation because it will save him valuable time before the commencement of mining operations. Fourth, once the decision of clearing an area for future mining is taken, as discussed at one above, the Ministry of Environment may specify the environmental conditions which should be met. Keeping in mind that during the conduct of mining operations, this is important. Keep in mind that during the conduct of mining operations, some amount of degradation of environment would be inevitable. It may also specify the extent to which the environment may be restored in the course of mining operations and before the closure of the mine. The concerned officers of the Ministry of Environment may monitor the mining operation thereafter. Note approval, monitoring. But the need for any grant of approval of the mining operation should not arise. Since the officers of the Indian Bureau of Mines are also authorized officers under the Environment Act, this happened, you see, between my informal consultation with the Secretary by Environment. So the officers of the Indian Bureau of Mines became authorized officers under the Environment Act. Then it will be IBM's responsibility to ensure that the lacuna is removed by the mine owner. Even otherwise, IBM may on its own do so and recover the costs. Whenever the mining lease is granted of an area which has already been explored by a government agency in the past, before the provision, this is the last page, provision of payment of exploration cess was made. It may be made mandatory for the applicant for mining leases to reimburse the cost of exploration. And he may be provided the detailed exploration report. He may be permitted not to pay the exploration cess until such time that it is adjusted against the lump sum payment already made. Thereafter, he may be required to pay the exploration cess for exploration in this same way as is obligatory for other states. I believe you may be able to follow what I am saying, because money is also important, and it is experienced that the displaced communities are often antagonistic to mining. To gain their goodwill and change their mindset, it may be advisable to let the Gram Panchayat of the mineral bearing area also take up mining. They should be encouraged. They may be encouraged to form a cooperative and hold the administration of the mine. They may engage the mining corporations of the concerned states as their consultant. They are already available. They are idling today. They can be employed here. As consultant, the corporation may be assigned the technical work involved in the management of mining operations. It is hoped that the above suggestions may provoke a lively discussion. When adopted, these suggestions may lead to efficient administration and facilitate ease of doing business in the context of mining operations. Before I conclude, I offer my thanks to the organizers of the Centenary celebration and greetings to fellow delegates. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And I hope we have the paper what Bhargav sir has presented is with this committee members. I think we have the paper what Bhargav sir has written. Dr. Verma, can you confirm it? Or if we can request Bhargav sir to please share this presentation with the management committee. Okay. Can I now ask next presenter, Mr. Mukesh Kumar and T.N. Singh. The title of this address is the Women's Contribution in Mining Industry. And Mr. Mukesh Kumar is coming. Okay. I would request Mr. Mukesh to kindly please limit your paper within 8 to 10 minutes because we are short of time. We have started late. And initially, please introduce yourself. Please introduce yourself and limit your paper to 8 to 10 minutes.
Okay, good morning to all of you. Now on the dais, dignitaries as well as the dignitaries present in the front of me in hall. Myself, Dr. Mukesh Kumar from Engineering Department. I had a topic, a recent topic which I feel that is good to write something about the women's. So my topic is women's contribution in the mining industry. Okay, I would like to put some points over the women. When we are thinking about the women's contribution, that is worthless until and unless we don't have the proper face to be with women. We are not able to do anything in the life. So women's in Hindi we are telling mahila. महिला का मतलब होता है कि जिसे हिलाया नहीं जा सकता, म इन द शाब्दिक अर्थ नहीं, और हिलाया मतलब उनका अगर कमिटमेंट कहीं अगर हो तो आप देख सकते हो कि वो किसी भी एंगल से वो ब्रेक नहीं होता, जो माइनिंग इंजीनियरिंग में भी दिखता है. नेक्स्ट इंट्रोडक्शन just going to concentrate over the introduction. So in recently July the United Nations General Assembly had declared the UN Women, and this General Assembly had declared the 15th June as a Women Day in the World International Women Day. So in introductory portion, I would like to put the things like the whatever the support intergovernmental bodies is giving to the society of women to formulate the policies, global standards, and more norms. And I would like to show some contributors from the women's side. That is Chandrani Prasad Burma. She has BTech degree from the 1999. India's first female mining engineer, has paved the way for the other women in country to pursue the mining occupations. And his mantra of the success is never question your caliber and press ahead with the determination once you establish your objectives. This mantra is taken consideration of so many CMDs and Coal India Limited chairmen also had pointed out these mantras. Whatever I have told, International Day of Women in Mining 2023, this is IDWIN 2023, that is declared by the US government as in 15th of June as a International Day of Women. When we are thinking about the country's contributions in the women's engagement, so we are just watching in India, with respect of the other countries, we are not less. As the figures pointed out, in Australia only 0.5% of the mining managerial roles and board positions are currently held by the women. In Canada, almost at around 9 to 10%. In Europe, we have more percentage of the women's contributions in the industry. Next. There is a term STEM in the picture in the field of that STEM is pointed out science, technology, engineering and mathematics. These four streams club as a STEM. So when we are thinking the women's role in STEM, that is changeable with respect of time, because so many countries are not allowing the girls students to pursue the mining engineering. Recently, after being a part of the IIT BHU, when IIT BHU converted into IIT BHU, so IIT had declared the almost 15% seat, reserved seat for the women. So that is a good step for the women's proactiveness to be a part of the society. Next. Whatever the methodology we are considering for these things, methodology includes some data and some type of the documents published, authors and qualifications, whatever the women have at the cost of the mining platform. And whatever the results we are getting, that results based on the these primary, not more primary data, or secondary data are available on the Googles, as well as some journals is pointing out the contributions of the women in industry. Next. In conclusions, I would like to say something about our findings suggest that the preferred practice for the supporting girls and women in Australian mining industry is mentoring. While the practice is clearly successful in Australia, as well as Europe and Canada is also pursuing the next step to giving the more participation of the women with respect of the men. So I would like to show the Ritu Rashmi. She is the first female PhD awardee from the IDBHU. And I had a gentle talk with the 4 girls students from the mining engineering department. I would like to show in this video. This is the picture of the 2007 when the from this department, and this shows the 4 schemes in regard of the women's contributions in mining industry. You can see the reproduction in this picture. That was the time of photo sessions in the Department of Mining Engineering, IDBHU. Whatever the talk I had with the 4 girls students of the IDBHU, I would like to present. गुड मॉर्निंग। मिलते हैं कुछ माइनिंग इंजीनियर से जो अभी माइनिंग इंजीनियरिंग डिपार्टमेंट में खासकर पढ़ रहे हैं। गुड मॉर्निंग। आप एक बात बताओ। गुड मॉर्निंग। किस ईयर में हो?
I'm from third year currently.
Okay. You are in mining engineering.
Yes, sir.
Do you have some reason behind that you have joined this mining engineering?
Basically, while choosing my options in JEE Advanced, like in counseling, I wantedly kept mining department in the starting only because I just want to explore this department. I just want to study what is there in this mining engineering. Like from childhood onwards, I am interested in searching different types of rocks. When I was child, I used to search different types of rocks. And later on I understood that okay, there is subject related to rocks also. There is subject related to minerals also. And that's how I choose my name.
What's your good name?
My name is Gayatri.
Gayatri. What's your name?
Megha Rani.
Say something about after joining this department. Okay. What you are feeling? You have feeling some different things after.
एक्चुअली मेनली क्या होता है माइनिंग तो हर मोस्टली देखा जाता है ऐसे कि लड़के ही ले रहे हैं बट मेरे को थोड़े चेंजेस लाने थे मुझे देखना था ऐसे एक्सप्लोर करना था हाँ मतलब कि ऐसी क्या चीज़ें हैं कि बस लड़के ही जा रहे हैं लड़कियों के लिए ऐसे लोग फाउंडेशन जानी थी
इस पे कभी चर्चा हुई डिपार्टमेंट में कुछ फैकल्टी मेंबर थे
हाँ हुई है काफ़ी हुई है उन्होंने काफ़ी मोटिवेट भी किया है कि मतलब बहुत हमारे पास बहुत ऑप्शन है बहुत अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ हैं हमें उसके लिए काम करना चाहिए और मतलब और भी लोगों को ऐसे मोटिवेट करना चाहिए
आप बताओ कुछ जैसे ज्वाइनिंग करने के बाद ठीक है मोटो कुछ होगा ना कि अब तो आ गए यहाँ पे और क्या क्या चीज़ें एक्सप्लोर करें कुछ वैसी चीज़ें जो
बेसिकली लोगों का इंटरेस्ट नॉन कोर में ज़्यादा रहता है बट मेरा पर्सनली है कि मेरे को कोर में भी इंटरेस्ट है और मैं अपना कुछ भी एक्सप्लोर करूँगी कोर में एक्सप्लोर करना चाहूँगी
बताओ कुछ इन लोगों से खास जो जैसे माइनिंग ज्वाइन तो कर लिया आपने ठीक है और सो मेनी थिंग्स विल कम इन पिक्चर ठीक है आफ्टर ज्वाइनिंग द इंडस्ट्री ठीक है किस विच टाइप ऑफ expectations you have from the industry yes industry हमें इस तरीके से ले
there are not many expectations about how industry should take us. Industry should take us like normal people, like boys and girls are always same.
So that you may do work
Yeah, like them also. We are not like
not apart from anything.
we can manage that and even girls are interested in mining so that will help
and that will be a good sign
to develop women empowerment
क्योंकि the things is like that I am Hindi when I would like to take the strength so we have to remember Ma Durga okay. For knowledge Ma Saraswati and for dhan ठीक है we have to remember the Ma Lakshmi so you all are representing these three things okay so wish you all the best after joining the okay
Sir, at last I would like to say that we are not differ from us. We are a society and I think so that mining society is giving a proper attention over the women. Okay. And I would like to say the all to support the women to be a part of good and productive mining industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mukesh Kumar. Thank you very much. And we'll have the question and answers, if any, at the end of the paper. Please. Sorry. Congratulations.
Wait.
Yes. So when Centenary Prasad came to me, she said that I wanted to do PhD under you on pillar stability of high wall mining, isn't it? And she says I wanted to work here only, isn't it? She is a very good girl and a very courageous one because when she took admission at for BTech in Nagpur University, women were not allowed for mining graduations. So she has and from High Court she get the admission. Later on changes made in legislation, but that was the thing. During her PhD, we have to prepare 600 samples of coal, that too cubical coal samples. that was a very tough work. And one technical assistant used to do is that he denied. He says, I will not do it. This girl has done it working on Saturdays and Sundays and off the times in the department, isn't it? And prepared 600 samples of coal. So really she is a very courageous girl and we must give a big hand to her. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Dr. Mukesh. If you any.
One thing I would like to lastly say with respect of the contribution of women in the face of the mining. First name is the Chandrani Prasad Verma. Second is the Shunita Misra. Right now she is the assistant professor in mining engineering in IIT Kharagpur. The third is the Professor Swapnil Misra, assistant professor in mining engineering in IIT ISM Dhanbad. Fourth is the Dr. Mamta Jaiswal, became the first woman PhD holder in the mining engineering from IIT ISM Dhanbad in 2022. And last but not least, Akanksha Kumari became the first Indian woman engineer in the history of CIL to work in the underground mines. And this milestone was shared by the CCL Twitter's account with a caption, a graduate of the BIT Sindri, Miss Kumari, Akanksha Kumari, broke the gender barrier by joining the Chudi UG Mines NK area. Thank you. All.
Thank you, Dr. Mukesh. Thank you very much. Can I now request Mr. Priyaranjan Jaina, a student of IIT BHU Mechanical Department, I understand, for his topic on thermodynamic performance and emission analysis of dual-fueled SI engine using sewage wastewater, waste-based producer gas and methane. Mr. Priyaranjan Jaina. Priyaranjan. Where is? So he was here? Can I now request Professor Ashok Kumar to give his paper on design of underground structures for mechanized depolluting in Tawa 1 mine. And I will again request you, Dr. Ashok Kumar, please limit your this paper up to within 8 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes. We are short of time, please. And introduce yourself, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ashok Kumar and I am working as assistant professor in IIT ISM Dhanbad. Before working in IIT ISM, and I was working as a scientist in Simfer for almost 9 years. And I'm a graduate of this institute only. I passed out in 2013. So without spending too much time over these things, I will directly go into the topic, which is also a very important topic considering the future of underground mining in India. Like if we go into the conventional underground mining methods like drilling and blasting and loading by conveyors and SDL. So during those days we were producing around 200 tons of a coal in a day, at max 300, 400 like that. But with the advent of continuous miner technology, we are able to produce an average coal around 2000 tons in a day. It's an average production, but the record production has gone up to 5000, and this particular record is also achieved by the Jhanjra underground coal mine only. And our GM sir is also here, Mahapatra sir. Sir, your mine is an example in the country, like it is the most underground coal producing company from underground coal mine, sir. So like examples like this Jhanjra mine are very encouraging for us. Can you switch off that light? It is directly over, putting over my face. Can someone switch off that light? So the topic of my presentation is design of structures for Tawa 1 mine. like this particular CM technology was introduced during 2002 and 2003, and during those days, like mere introduction of technology doesn't help. You need to have a proper optimum design of underground structure, whether it is related with the cutout distance, which is a very prominent element of continuous miner technology. If we are not able to judge or predict a particular optimum cutout distance, then we are not going to use it judiciously. Next element is our prediction of first major roof fall. When the roof fall is going to take place is again $1 million question, but again with the experience which I have gained in India by working in Indian underground coal mines, I try to predict that. Next is design of rib and snook. The remnants of pillar which are to be left at the 3-way junction and 4-way junction. What size should be left there? You know what happens if you are leaving a larger size, then it will lead to loss of coal. Then next is breaker line support. In earlier days we were putting skin to skin, cog and chalk support. This has been replaced by a series of longer length of roof bolts. So these are all new technology. Like yesterday Bhargav sir was telling that mining is a jugaad or science. Like with the involvement, with the introduction of these technology and with the involvement of industry, academicians and researchers, we have tried to make it more scientifically, and today you can see how much mechanization we have achieved. Like the underground coal productions here has gone down. I do not disagree with this, but again we all understand that the future is of underground coal mining only. And if we see the figure of China, they are producing almost, the reverse figure. We are producing more than 96% by open cast. They are producing the same share by underground, and that too by longwall technology. And we are, like lagging in longwall technology. We are having only 3 longwall phases in India: Adriala, Jhanjra, Munidi. And we all understand the condition. Like except Jhanjra, I don't feel that Munidi or Adriala is in a comfortable working condition. So like people like us, researchers, academicians, you need to intervene in these and design structures scientifically. So next slide, my topic is design of structures for Tawa 1 mine. So like I was telling, the first CM technology was introduced in 2002-3 in Chirimeri area, and after this technology introduction, Indian mining industry got mixed responses. In some part they got successful, in some part they got some sort of disappointment, but still they didn't stop here. So what happened after introduction here, we have right now almost more than 40 phases of continuous miner, and in this line only we have this Tawa 1 mine where this CM technology was introduced. So I was asked to design all those structures for this Tawa 1 mine. Next. So you can please, this is the panel W8 of Bagdona coal seam. There are 3 coal seams in Patharkhera area: upper workable seam, lower workable seam, and Bagdona coal seam. There are other coal seams also which are non-bendable, non-workable in nature. You can see here in this panel, if you see the deepmost side, which is triangular in shape, if you consider the extraction of coal pillar in those conditions, and if you will consider the roof span in these area, by the moment you are extracting 2 or 3 or up to 5 rows also, you will see the pillar width is not forming. This was an important issue which I addressed with the mining industry. During the discussion with DGMS people also, they told like, your area of exposure, the area of exposure, you told like after 8,000 meters square of roof span hanging, the roof caving should occur, but it is not occurring. So they were not made aware like, the width of the panel is very important. Okay, if the proper width is not building, even if you have exposed 15,000 meters square, it will not lead to any caving in underground coal mine. So a proper width was building after 3-4 rows or after 7th row. So I made them aware about this particular issue. Next slide. So coming to the geomining condition, the RMR of the roof was around 50, and the panel depth was varying from 190 meter to 266 meter. Maximum 5 pillars, from 1 pillar to 5 pillar was present along the width, and around 27 pillars along the length, and the entire length was almost 950 meter, almost 1 kilometer. and the pillar size was 39.5 cross 35 meters center to center, and the pillar size was varying. There were two sizes, 39.5 cross 35 meter and 35.7 cross 31.2 meter, and there were some geological discontinuities also. Next. So you can see here the borehole logs. If you will see the seam 1A, which I told it is of non-workable, because less than 1.5 meter we are calling it as, right now we are not having any technology to extract these thinner seams. Now if you see Bagdona coal seam, where depth is varying from 28 to 266 meter, and its thickness is also varying from 1.13 to 2.32, but in panel W8, where I designed the structure, the average thickness was 1.8 meter. So at a parting of 43 to 54 meter, there was lower workable seam and upper workable seam. These seams have been already extracted by the mine management. On the right hand side, we have the borehole logs. If you can see here, the Bagdona coal seam, this particular borehole log was taken just around the panel only, and if you see, the average thickness here is around 2.1 meter, and there were some intercalations, sandy shale present on the roof. Next. So we tried to estimate the capability index. When I estimated the capability index, I found that it is extremely difficult to capable in nature. So in these conditions, we need to suggest induced caving by blasting of the rope. So there was a higher capability index. So here I suggested for the induced caving. That design I will discuss later. Please move forward. So width of gallery is also a very important element for this particular technology. If you see the width, the continuous miner width is only around 3.5 meter, varying from 3.3 to 3.5 meter. And in this particular panel W8, it was developed earlier by conventional drilling and blasting. The maximum width which was there was around 3.8 meter, and it is very difficult for a continuous miner to walk or maneuver in this smaller gallery width. So what we did, we widened the gallery. We suggested them to widen the gallery. You can see in this particular diagram, the sides were 3.8 were widened to 3.8 to 5.5 meter, and this particular width didn't only help them to maneuver the continuous miner, because at the junction the length of the machine was around 11.9 meter, and this particular length is finding difficulty in turning at the junctions. Okay, so what happened, I need to cut the corners also, and why I suggested them to reduce the corner. If you see, the corners are more vulnerable to fracturing because they are under uniaxial loading, and what happens when you will remove this small portion, the overall junction span is increasing. That is going to help them in turning the continuous miner at the junction. Next slide. So further, these studies were further validated with the numerical simulation also. What I did, I took four different gallery width and cut off the vertical displacement value of 5 mm. Based on that, I found that after 5.5 meter, the gallery width, if I am increasing to 6 or 6.5 meter, the vertical displacement was also increasing. Next slide. So further, what happened after reducing the sides of the pillar size is reduced, effective size is reduced. So from 39.5 along the length, it reduced to 34 meter. So, like their strength also decreased, and the FOS earlier it was around 5, it reduced to 3. Next slide. So this is the value. These things I have already mentioned in the paper. You can go through. Next. So like here, generally in continuous miner, when we are having two major manner of pillar extraction. One is your single pass, that is also known as Christmas tree or fishbone method. Second is your split and slicing method. So here I suggested them a split and slicing method because of relatively larger size of pillar. And what happened here, if you see in this figure, I have suggested them a asymmetrical division. Means I have not suggested them to split this pillar in two equal halves. The reason behind is that the limitation of cutout distance. If I am going to increase, if I am going to divide this pillar in two equal half, my cutout distance is going to be increased. And what happens? Cutout distance is the maximum span of roof which can be extracted by continuous minor without supporting. So here if you see, if I am taking fender 1 and some part of fender 2 from the same split gallery, then I am able to extract a particular huge amount of coal. But if the moment I am splitting in two equal half, the cutout distance will increase. And when cutout distance is increasing, suppose I have designed for 10 meter and the cutout distance is suppose estimated here as 15 meter or 16 meter, okay, and we are going here up to 18 meters. So in that case, you cannot further extract 3 meter, 4 meter. Okay. Next slide. So safe cutout distance, like, we are also having a number of formulations worldwide. If you see, there are a number of scientists, Benevsky, whose major work was, on single opening, that is your tunnel. So I am not considering Benevsky development. I have developed my own formulation to estimate the cutout distance. What happens, two types of cutout distance are important. One during development and second during debuilding. What happens during development, that our roof is under elastic displacement, but the moment when you go to debuilding, our roof doesn't behave elastic. There have plastic deformation of the roof. So we need to propose two different nature of cutout distance, one for the development and one for the debuilding. But it is very difficult for for an operator, for a layman to understand that you need to adopt two different cutout distance. So here I have proposed to practice 11 meter cutout distance based on our developed empirical formulation, which I have developed considering a number of cases of Indian coal mines. Next slide. So these are the few formulations. You can just read those formulations in the paper. Next. So this is Benevsky. I haven't designed, consider this particular chart for the estimation of cutout distance. The reason behind, it has been developed for single opening. Next. So this is the formulation which I have developed, where I have considered width of the gallery and Young's modulus of the roof for design of cutout distance. Next. So further I validated this 11 meter of cutout distance on the numerical models also. What I did here, I fixed the gallery width to 5.5 meter and took around 10 to 12 such combination of cutout distance. So I have considered 9 meter, 10 meter, 11 meter, 12 meter and 30 meter, and again set a particular value of roof displacement. So beyond this roof displacement, I am terming it as a dangerous. So here also from the numerical model, I have validated that beyond 11 meter it is not going to be safe cutout distance. Next. So this is the sequence of extraction if you are developing, how you are going to develop a particular split gallery using continuous minor. Next. So further, what happens at the time of depiling, the pillars present at the GOF is highly vulnerable to fracturing. If we are not having a frequent roof falls of the GOF, in the GOF, then what happens, the fractures get spoiled. So that's prediction I have done here. This is a formulation, okay, again changes the moment pillar is your flat and if the pillar is inclined. So there is a formulation to estimate this spoiled portion also. X is 0.05 height of extraction times of depth of cover. The entire length is not spoiled portion. Up to here we predicted around 2.3 meters. So out of that, those 2.3 meter, 1 meter found in loose or completely separation zone. And how it helps? See what happens. Roof bolt base breaker line support. Like I was telling you, go face support. It is nothing but a series of roof bolts installed at the go face. And if you are directly installing those roof bolts in the small portion of the pillar, there is a pillar and then gallery, then pillar. So if you are installing roof bolts in those, small portion, in the shadow of those small portion, what will happen after creation of the ribs? Those breaker line will not get proper confinement from the sides. And in that case, what will happen? Your go face support will not work. Next. So further support system was also designed for this widened gallery. So you can see here, this was the support system designed for the void in gallery. You can see here the corner. I have installed, I have suggested them to install 2 more bolts around the corners. If you can see here, the corners, which were installed later. So further, this was also my PhD research topic where I designed the river snook. Design of river snook is very important. Why it is important? Because, a lot of coal is left in river snook if you have not properly designed it. So what happens, the factor of safety, how much factor of safety is to be considered while designing river snook? For pillars, for pillars which are going to be remain stable for long term, there we call, we maintain FOS of 2. And for river snook, we are maintaining FOS of around 0.3 to 0.5. It should not remain standing for a longer duration in roof, because what happens in long run, it will inhibit the caving. It will act as a resistance to the roof wall. So, design of ribbon snook is very important.
Dr. Ashok, please conclude.
Yeah, just 2-3 slides only, sir. So you can see here, for the design of ribbon snook, here I have considered 5 different sizes of ribbon snook for this Tawa 19, and you can see the manner of extraction. Slice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These slices, the extraction from this split gallery was taken in Christmas tree method. You can see here the cutout distance which we are maintaining, almost 10.64, but my prediction was 11 meters, so we are maintaining a less here, and in other case if you see 9 meter only. So this split gallery helped in efficient extraction of this pillar. And further, the left out part of the fender was extracted from the main gallery. So, I did parametric study over numerical model to predict a safe and efficient size of ribbon snook. And further, design of breaker line support. This is also a very important topic studied by Professor Sandarama of NIT Rourkela. His PhD topic was also the same one, design of breaker line support, and this design was also very helpful considering the different depths of cover. So breaker line design was also, made for this particular Tawa 19, and you can see here the locations of breaker line. If you see the most in by rib of a pillar, I have shifted it by 1 meter. And why I have shifted it by 1 meter, the reason behind is a small part of the pillar. Okay. So this particular design is working efficiently in the mine. So further, I did particular study to estimate the rock load height to be supported at the go phase. What happened? Here 1.8 meter was the average thickness. If I am suggesting them to install 2.1 meter bolt, not possible. Okay, so accordingly I have to suggest them what length of roof bolt is going to work in case of breaker line support. So again I did a numerical simulation study, and at the time where maximum chances of major roof fall to occur, I considered that span of roof for the estimation of rock load height. You can see here almost 1.5 to 6 meter was the rock load height. And further I did a prediction of roof fall also. Those things you can go and go through the literatures in the paper. Here what happened, as I was telling you in the initial, the width of the panel was not sufficient, and I, based on my prediction, 8,000 meter square of roof span is required for the first major fall to occur. And what happened, initially the entire panel is supported from, roof is supported from all the 4 sides. And what happens, as you go on progressing, the span of the roof increases, and there is a chance of inducing movement in the roof. And generally, after, when the width is equal to the length, at that time there is chances of occurrence of major roof fall. So I have considered that only. So what happens, once this plate has become cantilever, then the required span decreases. So that required span, when it has decreased, what happens, when you need to break a roof which is supported from all the 4 sides, and the moment you need to break a roof which is only supported from one side, that is from the working pillar side. So here the subsequent caving prediction was around 5,000 meters square. So this is the sequence of pillar extraction which I proposed for the Tawa 19, and further series of instruments are also required. you know, what happens, whatever design I have proposed, it needs to be verified by the instruments, because, you know, in mining, most of the things are unpredictable. Even I have predicted most of the things. But again, until unless it is verified by the instrument also, we are not going to, you know, ask them to blindly follow my designs. So there are rotary telltale, dual height telltale, roof extensometer, auto warning telltale, and instrumented roof bolts and stress meters. So, you know, the topic of research is what should be the anchorage length, anchorage height, and at what value of roof sagging the LED light of the auto warning telltale should flash. So here, by looking into the borehole, I suggested them to install the anchorage point at 10 meter, because at that point the major part, the major roof which is going to play major role in the starter control of the mine, that is considered here. Same for the dual height telltale, one anchorage point within the bolting length in order to check whether the bolts the support design which I predicted is working efficiently or not. And next, the major roof is covered. So this is the instrumentation design which I have proposed, and the design of induced caving by root blasting of roof. So here I have suggested them to blast from the most in by side of the pillar. You can see here what happened if you are blasting from the junction, then what happens, the instruments which are installed at the junctions, they also get damaged. So I have reached to the last slide, sir, only. So this was the manner of you know, blasting, roof blasting. Thank you. Thank you for your patient hearing. I would be, you know, interested to take any questions after this.
Okay, thank you, Professor Ashok Kumar. Can I now request Mr. Priyaranjan Jaina to give your presentation, and limit it within 8 to 10 minutes. We are short of time. And before we start the presentation, kindly give your brief introduction. Thank you.
Good morning, sirs and ma'ams, all respected delegates, and the organizing committee. I am Priyaranjana, a third-year research scholar at IIT BHU Mechanical Department, sir. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to present my research works related with the numerical analysis and thermodynamic performance and emissions for the dual fuel SI engine using the sewage sludge producer gas, and the methane blends. Next one. And these will be the contents. In the introduction, I'll be talking on the challenges and the purpose and objective of the paper, and then afterwards the literature review on the numerical models, and then the methodology that have been followed, then the validation, and for verifications the performance characteristics that will be done. And sir, so the introduction, in the major scenario in the world right now is there is rapid industrial growth, both in domestic and industrial. There is rapid industrial growth, and there is population explosion, which gives rise to growing energy demand, and then there is a large amount of waste that is being generated. So these three things, they on the first hand they give rise to more energy demand, and on the second case we also have a lot of waste to be managed. So in order to cope up with them, the waste to energy strategy could be very helpful. And these are some stats from the literature review regarding the scenario of waste management, the waste production, and the production of and the energy that is being used by the humans from the thermal power plants. Okay, brother, next. This again depicts a reference that says that that net energy demand that will be net energy demand and waste to deal with will be increasing by about 400% from 2017 to 2040. So in order to deal with this, I have reviewed and a best approach for dealing with this is by utilizing the SI engines, because these are already established established technology, and we can use the swell sludge, that is industrial swell sludge, as well as the domestic ones. From the swell sludge, the producer gas can be obtained using the gasification technology, and this gas could be helpful when blended with high calorific fuels like methane, and this blend can be utilized for SI engine running the SI engine, also in the engine gensets. And because the experimental approach for this analysis would be very costly as well as time consuming. We have been checking for the thermodynamic simulation approach for this purpose. So the objectives of the talk will be to validate my numerical model, and then afterwards the verification study will be done regarding the engine performance parameters. So some stats from the literature review for simulation of the IC engines, IC engine performance and emission analysis. There can be three basic models. There is a 0-dimensional or 1-dimensional modeling, and then there is the CFD model, which is also called the 3D modeling, and then the strategy that I utilized is the quasi-dimensional modeling. Okay, next. So in quasi-dimensional modeling, sir, we have this flame front. We can mathematically model the flame front, in which by which the emissions release, those can be intercepted. But whereas in the 1D and 3D models, the 1D models, they are just a thermodynamic model which only considers the input and outputs and does not consider the flame front. So the emissions analysis, it would be impossible. But whereas on the other hand, in the 3D CFD model, it can calculate the calculate the emissions, different emissions emittents more precisely. But however, it is more time consuming. It is a more time consuming method. So there we say that we can say that 3D the quasi-dimensional thermodynamic modeling, that QDTM, is more beneficial. And these are some comparative comparisons among the three models. As I said, the quasi-dimensional modeling is more accurate than the 0-dimensional empirical modeling. The 0-dimensional 1-dimensional modeling is also known as the empirical model, and we establish the calibration. We need calibration for both 1D and quasi-dimensional modeling. And on the 3D CFD modeling, calibration could be needed or may not be required. And they depict the same thing, that the quasi-dimensional and 3D modeling, they can simulate this emission, the emission contents as well. And the advantages, the advantages and the application. Regarding the application, the engine's overall performance, it is shown by it can be studied using the 1-dimensional model. But whereas the quasi-dimensional and 3-dimensional model, they can interpret the flame front mechanism. But on the other hand, when quasi-dimensional QDTM model, at an overscale, it can predict, it can show the performance parameters. The 3D CFD model, it works with more precision and consumes more time. These are some references. The review work of some previous works with the same type of methodology, with the statistical approach and the numerical approach that has been followed for different types of fuel. And we see that previous works have have largely included fuel materials that are very much close to the petrol's thermodynamic properties, petrol, diesels. But in our case, we are using the special producer gas SSPG, and which is blended with methane as a fuel. So this is in short, I can say that we are using the basic thermodynamic principle. Energy input is equal to work done plus the internal energy stored. The basic formula, the basic equation for this, the basic equation has been used to model all these things when intercepted, which is intercepted using the flame front geometry. The flame front geometry for accessing the amount of charge that is induced, the fuel charge induced in a power cycle. We are using this for accessing the amount of fuel generated in the power cycle. We need to calculate the flame front velocity, which we consider as a turbulent flame front velocity. So the QDTM basically models the power cycle, and the power cycle it begins from the end of compression and the inlet valve closure time, and then the power cycle ends with the exhaust valve opening. So it will be comprising of three phases. That is a compression phase, which is a single zone compression phase, and then there is a two zone combustion phase, and then there is again a single zone expansion phase. So these are the specifications, engine specification, as well as fuel properties that were used in the analysis. And these are the fundamental correlations that we used. As I said, the thermodynamic properties are used from the basic first law of thermodynamics. The first equation, it shows the internal energy related with the power production and the heat input, and then afterwards the velocity, the volume of the combustion chamber with respect to the crank position. It is dictated using the second equation, and then the temperature, velocity, and pressure changes, thermodynamic state changes. Those have been modeled using these equations. So to access the amount of the volume of the fuel charge mixture that is induced, the turbulent flame front velocity has been considered as UT, and which is a summation of the laminar flame velocity as well as the turbulent disturbance. U dash represents the turbulent disturbance, and SL, it represents the laminar flame velocity, which has been found out using dictator's principle for the mixture of methane and SSPG, and also the amount of heat lost and heat produced, that can be dictated using the wall heat transfer formula given by Anand's. We say it as Anand's correlation in the papers. Then there is with respect to the burned and unburned zones, we model the temperature dTn by d theta and dTp by d theta, where the suffixes m and p, they represent the unburned mixture, and p represents the product composition. The two zone model, it can be better represented using this diagram, where we have the gray portion represents the burnt portion, burnt volume, and whereas the blue color, it represents this unburned charge, and the flame front.
Mr. Jena, please conclude.
This was the schematic for the program that has been used, and the inputs, with respect to all the inputs, the outputs have been the outputs can be generated, and these are this is the validation for the model. with respect to a paper from Soja et al. 2017 paper, and with respect to the pressure, in-cylinder pressure, the first graph can be observed, and with respect to the brake power outputs, the second graphs of different blends, the second graph can be checked. And with respect to this different SOI start of ignition, spark timings, and with respect to different blend proportions, the model has been valid. The model can be verified in these plots, where it can be seen that with respect to spark timing or SOI, the maximum peak pressure in the cylinder, it decreases, and whereas the amount of crank angle that is required, that also increases. And with respect to indicated mean effective pressure, which represents indicated power irrespective of the size of the engine, that is the swept volume, it can be seen that the spark timing of 35 to 40, it gives the best power output. And whereas with more blending of the PG, this output power decrease, all because the producer gas has low calorific value when compared to methane. And opposite to contradicting to that plot, these plots can be observed, which represent the brake specific energy consumption. And the indicated thermal efficiency, which can be seen that from the pentagonal plot, that when the blending increases, the efficiency increases, and it is more sensitive even with respect to blending. And it can be seen that the PG, when we use producer gas, it gives more efficiency, because the producer gas has excess oxygen content with it, as well as there is hydrogen content with it as well, which supports the combustion properties. Similar to IMEP or indicator power, the brake power diagrams are also similar. And with respect to increase of producer gas fraction in the blends, the carbon monoxide emissions from the vehicles, it increases. And next way. And whereas with respect to the NOx with respect to NO emissions, which is unstable even, with respect to NO emissions, we see that with lower PG content, as the temperature inside the combustion chamber, it increases. So when the spark timing is increased or gets optimum, then the NOx emission, NO emission, nitrogen monoxide emission, it increases. So we have from the results of different parameters, it has been observed that the outputs were very much similar to the expected outputs, and then it could be found that the SY spark timing of nearly 45 to 30 to 45 before TDC, it is more appropriate for this type of engine, which is fueled by the PG and methane blends. And after that, the increasing of SSPG blending up to nearly 50% by volume, it is it is of more scope, and further increase will lead to degradation of power as well as more of carbon monoxide emissions. And that is how the QDTM model has been validated. And so for future works, this model will be again be capable for validating with different fuel blendings like propane and other things, and PG from other substrate materials. And with these few words, these are the references that have been used. And with these few words, I conclude my speech. Thank you, sirs. And
okay, finished.
Yes, sir, finished.
Okay, thank you, President. It seems you've done a lot of studies, a lot of references you haven't gone through.
Okay, Sir, if anyone is getting more interested, they can refer from the papers as well that have been just published last month. We have more the calibration constants have been depicted for different failings in those papers as well, sir.
Okay,
Sir,
we'll have question answer session just after this. Just wait for a few minutes. Some of those students may like to have some questions with you. And anything else?
No, sir. That's
okay.
it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Now you can you take your seat, please? Huh? No, just wait. Let the session be over. Then we'll have this question. Now, can I call Mr. Satish Kumar? Satish ji, can you come down? We have one more paper, a brief presentation by Mr. Satish Kumar. He has retired as Joint Director, Department of Geology and Mining, and of his own he has developed a unique website. I think it is going to be very useful for the students, for the faculties, for all the mining professionals. And he had requested the organizer of this seminar to have a 5 minutes time so that he can give his brief presentation on the website and the labor he has worked on this website. Please, Satish Kumarji, thank you. And keep your presentation within 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you.
Respected dignitaries, our seniors, faculty members, friends and students. It's a moment of great pleasure to be here, our beloved department, IIT BHU Mines Department. Lot things has been addressed, but always comes in my mind whenever we talk about the mining or minerals, always we talk about the major minerals. But minor mineral is always not in the notice, and you will be surprised to know that as per the annual report of the IBM, there is only 1300 operating mines of the major minerals in India as per the annual report 22-23, and they are covering around 3 lakh hectare area. There is no official record of the minor minerals in India, but approximately not less than 20,000 minor mineral mines are working in India. They are very small players and very unorganized. And you can know that in the minor mineral also, as per the Mines Act, where mining depth is more than 6 meters, persons going to be employed more than 20 persons or using the blasting or comes into the purview of the Mines Act and MMR, and they are supposed to have second class mines manager for that. But I know very few in the country are going to implement it. In UP, I can talk in the context of UP. In Uttar Pradesh, with the interference of DGMS, some of the mines in Sonbhadra, in Mahoba district of the stream quarries are employing second class mines manager. But again they are working like a medical shop. You might be knowing in the medical shop they require a diploma in pharmacy for the medical license. In the similar way, they are having some second class mines manager certificate being presented in the DGMS and they are working. So this is the wide field. Another fact is that minor minerals are tarnishing the image of the mining. It has also to be regulated in the safe and sustainable mining. We always talk, we started with the subject mining. Then another term has been added with time, that is the safe mining. Then now we have come to the safe and sustainable mining. Safe and sustainable mining is not required only in the major minerals, it has to be in the minor mineral mining also. With this idea, how to support, how to enlighten the minor minerals, my focus area is minor minerals. Because I have served more than 25 years in Directorate of Geology in Mining, Uttar Pradesh, starting career as a district mines officer and ended with the joint director mines, having the charge of additional director. In those days, I have felt people of the minor mineral areas are very innocent. They do not know the rules, regulation, court verdicts, everything. They do not know the norms of the mining plan, norms of the EC conditions, so they have to be educated. And there is a large chunk of the peoples in the state. All states have independent rules of all the states, independent policies, but mineral are being transported from each one state to another state. In the context of UP, if we will talk, our Uttar Pradesh is covered with 7 states. Rajasthan, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Bihar, Jharkhand. Minerals are coming from these states. Our minerals are going to their states. Their minerals are coming to our states. But there is no parity in that. Like allocation policies, environmental conditions, etc. are quite different in all the states. Anyway, these are the things. We should come to come to the home, please. Home पे आओ. Sir, this name is Mine Mountain. We are trying to make it a encyclopedia or Wikipedia for the mining. Though our focus area is minor mineral, but it has all the informations related to the major minerals also. Because Act, Rules, Regulation, MMDR, MCR are also here. You can see this mineral policy. I go to the headings, not to the subheadings. Central Government Act and Rules, Uttar Pradesh Minor Mineral Rules with Amendments, UP Mining Government Orders, MOEF Guidelines and Notification, all are updated till date. Notification under MMDR, MCR and UP MMCR, CPCB, SPCB Guidelines and Notifications, court orders related to the mining, इसमें landmark judgments related to the mining has been assigned here. Other state minor mineral rules, other states को भी कवर करने की कोशिश किया है सर. यहाँ पे कुछ साइड वार में जो दिया है, important links that is very common. E-tender auction. Presently, this is depicting UP state minor mineral auction details. The area NIT which is going to be advertised in Uttar Pradesh is being displayed here. Mining associations enroll as a professionals like advocate, EC consultants, registered qualified person for the mining plan can enroll here as a professional, and people's the mining business can hire them. Job portals exclusive for the mining. Idea is to make a job portal exclusive for the mining. I would like to get all the mining companies on board on this. All mining vacancies should come over this. All mining students can use this and get benefited from one portal. Presently, it is very scattered way. Mining journals, mining research institutes, mining companies. So the mining research institutes, please. Mining research institutes. These are the mining research institutes, sir. Mining companies at a glance. Mining companies. How many mining companies are here? 49 माइनिंग कंपनीज अभी सर मैंने इस पे रजिस्टर करा है. मेरा मानना था इसे सर माइनिंग में मेटल, कोल, एक्सप्लोजिव, माइनिंग मशीनरी और GIS मतलब ये डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी के ऊपर भी माइनिंग की बहुत सारी कंपनियां हैं, वो स्टार्टअप्स में हमने कवर किया है. तो इन 4-5 सेक्टर्स में इन सारी कंपनियों को बांट करके प्रेजेंट करना, उनके एम्प्लॉयमेंट, उनके एडवर्टीजमेंट्स, उनके वैकेंसीज को इन सब पर लाना, ये सोचना काम है। माइनिंग स्टार्टअप्स, माइनिंग अवार्ड स्कीम्स प्लीज। ये सारे अवार्ड्स हैं सर माइनिंग में, स्टूडेंट्स प्रोफेशनल्स बहुत पहले से जान सकते हैं व्हाट आर द अवार्ड्स फॉर अस। माइनिंग इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज ऑल ओवर इंडिया, हाँ ऑल इंडिया के माइनिंग इंजीनियरिंग के लिए 128 माइनिंग कॉलेजेस को इसमें सर असाइन किया है कि कहां पे कौन से स्टेट में कौन से कॉलेजेस हैं। माइनिंग ई बुक्स फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स, लगभग 68 ई बुक्स हैं फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स। माइनिंग कोर्स ऑब्लिक ट्रेडिंग, इंपॉर्टेंट डेट्स पे जाएं। ये सर ये सारे डे जानते होंगे सर, शायद यू माइट बी नोइंग। 4 अप्रैल को यूएनओ का माइन अवेयरनेस डे होता है सर। 4 अप्रैल इज द डे फॉर द माइन अवेयरनेस डे और बाय द यूएनओ डिक्लेयर्ड। दिस कम टू द माइनिंग ब्लॉक्स, माइनिंग डिक्शनरी, ये माइनिंग डिक्शनरीज हैं। माइनिंग न्यूज, ये माइनिंग के न्यूज चैनल्स हैं अभी फिलहाल। माइनिंग यूट्यूब चैनल्स, सिमिलरली कम टू द होम प्लीज। सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट एक्ट एंड रूल्स, एक ओपन करें बस, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट एक्ट एंड रूल्स। इसमें सर ये हेडिंग्स हैं, हम एक हेडिंग में जाते हैं, मिनरल कंसेशन एंड डेवलपमेंट। इसमें ये फिर सब हेडिंग्स हैं, इस सब हेडिंग में एक लेयर में जाते हैं, माइंस एमएमडीआर पहला जाएं। नीचे से करें, नीचे से होगा, हाँ और नीचे है। ये सब 1957 से लेके अभी तक का है सर। 1957 में जो पहला एक्ट था उसके साथ साथ अब तक के जो अमेंडमेंट्स हो गए, विद ऑल द अमेंडमेंट्स वी रीच टू दिस एंड दिस लास्ट 28/3/2021 का 28 मार्च की हमारी लास्ट अमेंडमेंट है। उसके बाद 29 को हमने इसको अमलगेट करके अमेंडेड अप टू बनाया हुआ है, यानी अमेंडमेंट जो सेपरेट अमेंडमेंट्स है उसको अमलगेट करके हमने फिर अमेंडेड अप टू बनाया हुआ है। तो इस तरह करके डिफरेंट फीचर्स में ये सारे इंफॉर्मेशंस है विच कैन बी यूज्ड बाय द स्टूडेंट्स। हमारा टारगेट ऑडियंस है माइनिंग ऑफिशियल्स, माइनिंग स्टूडेंट्स एंड पीपुल्स इन द माइनिंग बिजनेस, ये हमारे टारगेट ऑडियंस हैं। और मैं ये चाहता हूं कैसे इसको और इनरिच कर सकते हैं। रिसेंटली इन जनवरी 2023, जनवरी 2023 में ही मैं रिटायर करा हूं और अक्टूबर महीने में ही इसको लॉन्च किया है हमने, जस्ट 3-4 मंथ्स बिफोर। तो अभी पब्लिश किया है, तो बहुत सारी नई नई चीजें इसमें लानी है अभी इस पे। और क्या कर सकता हूं मैं इस फोरम पे, आई एम थैंकफुल टू द सरन सर कि ही हैज इंस्पायर्ड मी। इंसिडेंटली ही हैज मेट मी इन द ट्रेन and we were discussing what I am doing. Then I told him this is the thing, and he just saw in his mobile and he inspired me that this is the right forum, you can express yourself on the forum. I really am very shy for these things, so I do not promote myself, so but this is the inspiration of Saran sir कि मैं यहाँ पे प्रेजेंट कर पाया आपको। और मैं चाहूंगा कि अधिक से अधिक लोग इसको इस्तेमाल करें। यहाँ पे सर एक ऊपर में देखें शेयर योर नॉलेज रखा है, प्लीज हिट द शेयर योर नॉलेज, शेयर योर नॉलेज, शेयर योर नॉलेज सबसे ऊपर। हाँ, यहां पे रखा है कोई भी डॉक्यूमेंट्स, कोई भी चीज इसमें लाना चाहते हैं, इफ एनीथिंग इज मिसिंग इन दिस, तो आप यहां पे हमको अटैच करके भेज सकते हैं, वो हम उसको इंक्लूड करने की कोशिश करेंगे। थैंक यू वेरी मच, थैंक यू टू द ऑर्गेनाइजिंग कमिटी, थैंक यू टू द फैकल्टी मेंबर्स, thanks to our colleagues and friends. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Satish ji, and a great presentation. And we'll have more discussions once we meet in the
Yeah,
future.
sure.
Okay. Can we now have 5 minutes question answer session? If someone is having any question with the presenter, he can raise his hand and we can ask the question. Dr. Sharma, can he begin the microphone, please? Is it? Mic, please. And one more mic to Satish Kumar, sir.
Satish ji, I must congratulate you because if you are present in website, you are there. If you are not there, you are not there in today's world. और मैंने कई फोरम में कहा है कि माइनिंग के जो अच्छे काम है वो पब्लिक के बीच नहीं जा पा रही है और इससे इसका परसेप्शन जो काम कर रहा है, अच्छे काम कर रहे हैं, उसका नहीं बन रहा है, निगेटिव का जरूर हो रहा है. तो आपका वेबसाइट एक न्यूट्रल स्पेस प्रोवाइड करेगा. सो आई मस्ट कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट यू. और आपने रिटायरमेंट के बाद क्या करना है वो भी एक दिशा दी, उसके लिए भी आपको बधाई.
Thank you so much.
But I would only like to make one small I'll say suggestion. You have written, सिन्हा सर भी उसको एंडोर्स करेंगे. 1957 का आपने लिख दिया, उस पे जो एक्ट है वो डेवलपमेंट एंड रेगुलेशन लिखा है. 1957 में अगर इंडिपेंडेंटली लिखेंगे तो रेगुलेशन एंड डेवलपमेंट है. वो डेवलपमेंट एंड रेगुलेशन बहुत बाद में हुआ था. तो उसको करेक्ट कर लीजिए क्योंकि आप स्टूडेंट्स के बीच जा रहे हैं. तो फिर जी, थैंक यू.
Time to time amendment is done. The parent act is 1957 or 1958, whatever it is there, but number of amendment has come up, so that they had to. Yeah, that is true, because he is having I am advocate Supreme Court also after retirement and having a lot of experience for that, and really, so far the law is concerned, D.N. Bhargav is here. IBM is instrumental for all MMRD Act, MCDR and like that, and it was done under the guidance of Indian Bureau of Mines. Only the notification they had to come, technical notification, then only they come to the website only. But how the rules framed, that is the prime responsibility today. I am lucky that Golden Jubilee celebration, he was controller of mines, and today he is also present now. He has tremendous vision for Indian Bureau of Mines. All the things are there, even the booklet, mining laws, drafted by Indian Bureau of Mines, and it is Ministry of Mines approved. So, yeah, so. Yeah.
Sorry, sir. If we can have any more questions, please. Any more?
Just a minute, because
okay,
he is
sir.
taking the things. And Shekhar, just.
Yes, sir. Please carry on.
It is his vision. You are talking and sitting here, all the big shots. Ministry Environmental Protection Act. Is there any field officer? 1986, the act has come and rules has come. It was his credential, it is today still also. The officer of Deputy Controller of Mines and Chief Controller of Mines of Indian Bureau of Mines is the field officer for Environment Protection Act and rules. Is still Ministry of Environment and Forest has nothing there. And this is the technical matter, that's why I am telling you. My paper is also there. In the Forest Conservation Act, IBM has got no power. But Environmental Protection Act, so far the MMRD Act is concerned, all the field officers during his tenure in 1988, the orders has been given that the IBM officers will be, it is for coal and metals all. Designation for that one as a field officer for Ministry of Environment, and when this act has come up, I think Mehta is also our ex-alumni. Regarding environmental implication in the Environment Protection Act 1986, I remember 1992, the case has come up. In Reddy area, the waste dumps fall off, wash off, dumping, spoiling the Arabian Sea, then whatever the environmental implication is there, that is to be done. I had an opportunity, 2 cases had come up and we had given them. And during my presence also, Forest Conservation Act, IBM officers is not authorized. The Chief Justice, when I was Controller of Mines, South Zone, the Chief Controller of Mines asked the Forest Conservation Act carry out survey work in presence of Controller of Mines, South Zone, and if any environmental encroachment is to be taken, joint action is to be taken for removal of encroachment. So this is the thing, 15 cases or 17 cases has come up in my presence, and Bangalore region we have carried out. So this is the vision of the de-embargo, what IBM role, and still IBM role is there, because his cream department was technical consultancy, mining research, and publications. All bulletins are there. Mineral years book, all the data are there. Even the law, what you are saying, they are putting like that.
Sinha sir, sorry for interruption,
done
sir.
by the IBM.
We can have any questions. Some students may be having some questions, sir.
Yeah.
So I am offering this forum to the house. If someone is having any question with the any of the presenter, please. Any questions? Yes, sir. Please take your mic, sir.
I don't remember. I was a little late. There was a paper on depillaring, I think. Oh, yes. Yeah, my question, rather the question is, I just wanted to know, what is the zone size did you use for doing it? Because as you know, like when you have a stress, gradients are very steep. So did you do a parametric study? What was the zone size? It appeared to be very large. Right near the coal seemed far off. So because the results will be dependent on your thickness of like zones.
So you raise a very important point, sir. In numerical simulation, zone size is a very big issue, and considering the constraints of computing machine, it is very important to decide the model size and accordingly the zone size. So the places where I want to have deep analysis or deep studies, so there I try to find the zone size, where there is a rock load height estimation in the roof. There I have, for one division it is around 0.25, 0.5 meter like that in the roof. But for the general size which are of not that important, so I generally consider for them as like 1.1, 1.2 meter, sometimes 2 meter like that.
I think he has made his point.
And first try to calibrate the model considering the actual zone, actual site condition. Based on that only I decide the zone. Yes.
You can have a further discussion during the tea break. Now we conclude this session, and can I request the organizer to give the mementos please to the presenter, please? Sir, okay.
Good morning to all. Myself R.S. Singh. Just I have some suggestion. Actually, some lecture by women who are working in industries to be arranged in institute.
We can hear you, sir. It's clear.
And second, exposure of students to be given even from second year. Previously, it was a 5 years course. At present, it is 4 years course. So, to be given, exposure of a student to be given even from second year and onwards, and to be arranged by institute. Previously, it was done.
Okay,
but
sir.
At present, it is
I'll
being
request
done. I think so. It will be better for their exposure and improvement.
I will request the professors of the mining
To
department
encourage them
to
also.
take note of it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. I just want to end with a small quote. Great is the art of beginning, but greater is the end of it's an art of ending. So, the first few words of your speech make us want to listen, and the last few sentences help us to decide what we feel about you and your topic. Sir Shekhar Charan, former chairman of Central Mine Planning and Design Institute Limited, alum of IIT BHU of 1981 batch, will be handing over the memento to Bhargav sir, the senior most alum of IIT BHU. So, mementos, hand over to Bhargav. Please accept these as token of gratitude, sir. I will be handling it. Should I give it off? Should I give it off to memento? Sorry, memento to sir. Someone talk. Yes. Announce. Sir, Jamal sir, I'll call Jamal sir. अच्छा ओके. Bharatwaj Pandit sir, our professor, will be handing over the mementos to our chair and S.K. Pillai sir. Claps. So we will be closing this session now. Thank you everyone.
Kindly come forward for a group photograph. Afterwards we will have a 10 minutes tea break. Okay, followed by we will have a plenary talk by Professor Uday Kumar, and afterwards we will have a panel discussion. Okay, so we have a 10 minutes tea break. Okay. kindly come forward for the photographs. Everyone, those who are sitting at the back, please come forward. Student delegates and everyone. Okay.